like the big long thing for, we can do all sorts of cool stuff through itsy bitsy teeny tiny holes in you. And the type of Da Vinci we have is called the Da Vinci SI. It is the latest, the greatest. We were the third hospital in the state of California to have this newest model, which is pretty cool. And as a gynecologist, we're kind of low on the totem pole in a ski resort town. And for me, it is, I'm so thrilled that we have something that the orthopedic surgeons can't play with. They are so jealous.
Neither.
Because we have the really cool stuff.
Yeah. That's very cool. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, it was a big investment, and pretty amazing that the board of the hospital agreed to make this kind of investment to help our patients in our local community.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just so cutting edge.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I've done several surgeries on it now.
Yeah?
And to a woman, my patients cannot believe the lack of pain that they have from these incisions. The first few, I called them up at home the next day, like, how you doing? Did you really operate on me yesterday?
Oh my gosh.
Because they had absolutely no pain.
That and I mean we wear the bikinis and the stuff, you know, that like you said, the very, very small incisions.
Very tiny incisions. They heal really, really well.
Wow.
And we're able to do very complicated things through these little tiny incisions. I think one of
That's amazing.
The things, I've been doing advanced laparoscopic surgery for a really, really long time. I don't want to say how long because it makes me sound so old, but about 25 years. And I'm doing the same kind of surgeries that I was doing before, but with the aid of the Da Vinci, it makes it easier on me as the surgeon.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's easier on the patient, faster recovery, safer. The instruments have wrists. And
that's amazing.
If you imagine trying to even feed yourself, if you had your arms in a cast and you couldn't even bend your wrists, that's hard to do. And traditional laparoscopic surgery is a lot like that. I tell my patients with traditional laparoscopic surgery, it's like operating with chopsticks. Whereas with the Da Vinci, yes, we're using long, thin instruments, but they have a wrist. And so if I am at the console and I move my hand like this to put in a suture, the robot arms do the same thing.
That's amazing. What's the training like on something like that?
It's pretty intensive. We also bought a simulator for our robot, which means I can sit at the console and use a simulator to, just like fighter pilots do. Except for, flying a plane, I'm running the robot and practicing techniques that we would use in a real surgery.
Yeah.
So we do simulator training, we watch videos, we go watch live surgery with very experienced surgeons, and then we go to a training lab to actually work with the robot on a live, not human model prior to doing surgeries. And our first surgeries have to be proctored or observed by an experienced Da Vinci surgeon. And I had Dr. Peter Lim, who's a GYN cancer specialist from Reno, came up when I did my first surgeries.
It's fantastic. Yeah. How exciting is it for you guys to be able to have use of something like this in such a beautiful part of the world? I mean,
I've been in Tahoe for 18 years, and I've always said that it's one of the best places to practice medicine. It's a beautiful community, the outdoor recreation, the beauty of the lake, and to be able to do what I was trained to do in such a setting. People are jealous when I go to conferences other places in the country. Like, where are you practicing? I'm like, Tahoe.
Small little hospital. But we have the state-of-the-art, cutting edge.
It was funny. I was in practice in a suburb of Philadelphia for a few years before I came out here. And I was impressed back then with what Barton had. I came from a very large hospital, multiple, tens and tens of times bigger than Barton. And when I came here 18 years ago, I thought that we had great equipment. And now with the Da Vinci, it is pretty cool. We're doing stuff that a lot of big city hospitals can't do.
Gosh, that's
and we're
so
lucky because we have a
exciting.
great team of surgeons that have been doing advanced minimally invasive surgery in the first place, and now we have this tool that makes it safer, makes it easier, will prolong my life as a surgeon. Traditional laparoscopic surgery is really rough on the surgeon. We stand in a very awkward position. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries. because of that.
Yeah.
I'm a cancer survivor myself,
Uh-huh.
and so for me to be able to sit down and operate comfortably, I'm going to be able to do this for a long time.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations on being a cancer survivor
Thank you.
yourself. What are some things you wanted to mention? Breast cancer awareness.
Yes. Yeah.
What are some things that we as women can do? Just reminders for you women out there. I know
Right.
most of us are kind of familiar with the information, but
Well,
need to hear it again.
We always hear it in October. October is Breast Cancer Awareness
Month,
And
yeah.
everything pink, the pink ribbons everywhere. And I think the rest of the year, we kind of forget and we let it slide about doing the breast self-exams. And there's been a lot of conflicting stuff in the news recently with the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force saying, don't get your mammograms in your 40s. I was diagnosed in my 40s. If I had not had a mammogram until I turned 50, I'd be dead. I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important for women to do breast self-exams.
Absolutely.
To get annual mammograms starting at 40. And I think one of the really important things, especially for our Tahoe population, is there are things we can do to lower our risk of breast cancer. Eat healthy, exercise.
Totally.
Clearly makes a difference. Watch the environmental carcinogens, the pesticides, the BPA, all that kind of stuff. And, we're lucky. We live in this beautiful, pristine environment. We don't have to deal with the air pollution that a lot of people have.
Yep.
But there are things that we can do.
Yep.
And we've got some good surgeons up here to help. Unfortunately, they can't use the Da Vinci. It's not for breast cancer surgery.
Well, it's the Da Vinci robot is a fantastic thing offered by Barton, and thank you for putting that out there. As women, we do need to keep in check with our own health and be in tune with our bodies. And I really want to thank you for coming in
thank
this
you very
morning.
much for having
Fascinating
me.
interview. It's just fantastic, and congratulations once again.
Thank you. I'm 4 years out this week, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Kelly Shanahan, gynecologist over at Barton, cancer survivor. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back.